Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
I have a big announcement, 2 big announcements.
What's that?
So we were sitting here, it's rushed, maybe 10, 15 seconds we went on, and as soon as the intro came on, Mindi went like this.
I did.
So, now, are you being fake for TV purposes?
Well, don't you have to smile when you're on TV? Isn't that
Like
part
a
of,
joke. I'm just
it's part of the
messing with
deal?
Doesn't that happen?
Makes sense to me.
Yes. Yeah, I do this every day.
Okay.
Let's show the
Being
behind the
fake for-
curtain.
The other
Yeah.
big news is, who's this guy?
Yeah.
That's the very famous Johnny
Johnny
Stars.
Stars.
Oh my goodness.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. You know? I didn't know if you were going to introduce me.
No,
you know,
I'm
I always
gonna
got to
do it.
wait for you to say Johnny Stars because I like hearing my name, you know?
But I know you do. So, an unnationally known celebrity right here.
Unnationally now.
And you found him in a catalog?
Yeah, game show host,
Yeah.
wannabe.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he's a co-worker in a way, and you're going to
So-
help us out this week, right?
I'm absolutely going to try.
And for those who are just listening later on and not watching, he's dressed in red. Why? Mindi too and John. Valentine's weekend
Valentine's
is
weekend.
when this is being recorded. So
Yes.
we'll see how
Valentine's
all
Day
this goes.
Eve.
Yeah.
Valentine's Eve is the
Where's
recording.
your red, Joe Snedeker?
You know me, I'm kind of counterculture,
Okay.
right? A little
All right.
anti everything, so I'm not doing that.
Okay.
It's a
He
corporate
is
scam.
wearing a fancy blue shirt though because it's a
It's picture
corporate
day.
picture day.
Yes. We get to take photos today.
I think
Where-
it's actually a fitted fancy blue shirt.
Ooh.
This thing is like 15 years old.
Wow.
You get that
Is
Very-
that your go-to
It's my
official-
go-to whenever someone says you better look good.
Okay.
It's as good as I can look.
There
Your
you
go-to
go.
uncomfortable shirt.
I
Yes.
hate it.
See, I thought it was because I was here that you dressed up for me.
I
but
want to
mean,
impress Johnny Stars.
Yes, good.
Yes. So, all right, Johnny Stars, you have to go first.
Oh,
So,
okay.
folks, remember, this is only as good as you make it. Keep the questions
Go ahead
coming.
and pick a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
In this bag, wait, brown bag at wnep.com. Your questions end up in here. We don't preview them, and we never know what we're going to get.
Let's
now, why are you
see.
going for the surface? Don't you want to dig deep? No!
Oh, I can
Surface
dig
of-
deep. You want me to dig deep? Or what do you
No,
want me?
just pick what
Just
you want.
pick what you want,
Don't
yes.
get pressured.
Jeez.
Let's see.
Now
If we
we're
don't-
paying him $700 an hour to
This
be
guy
here?
for rent is $700 an hour.
Wow.
You know, I
that's-
thought I had an NDA, but you guys keep on breaking.
Look at, I like how you're piecing that together. Your
Right.
very first question. Here we go.
So I gotta say, so
was
it's
it
from
from?
Thomas Wilk. Let's see, Joe, when are you gonna do Wham Cam in Wilkes-Barre or Luzerne County? Just wondering, when do you do recording for Wham
What a
Cam?
great question, right?
Yeah.
So John and I, and notice Mindy's not included, do all these extra specials, these extra work, because we're the hardest working guys in show business. He does out on the Pennsylvania Road. I do Wham Cam. I do podcasts. Mindy, what else do you do?
I get my nails done.
Oh, they're looking nice for Valentine's.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it does take hours to get my hair done. So I
Sure,
spend
sure.
a lot of time.
My
doing
point
that.
is, this is an 8-hour job like many others, so it takes hours to make graphics. It takes hours to, of course, we're live all morning long from 4:30 until 9. So I do Wham Cam as an extra feature. I literally have to find a photog, go out of my way, drive around, get into people, record this thing. I edit my own package.
Wow.
It's a lot of work. So the moral of the
I don't
story
think
is...
the guy cares about that. He just wants to know when.
No,
He's getting
because
there.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
what he specifically says, when you're coming to Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
So the reason I don't go far out from the station anymore is because I have limited time. The company has changed in recent months. They used to give me a whole day, one full shift,
Really?
and they would say, don't do weather this day, go all around the viewing area, go to Pottsville, go to Williamsport, go to Honesdale, and I would shoot 3, 4, 5, 6 of these things. But they don't do that anymore. So I don't have the time to go very far from the station.
Well, things have changed a lot since we added 2 more hours of local news to our
Right.
shift.
Thank
so
you.
if it's 4.5 hours of our shift, then we're on TV straight through.
Yes.
So it's a challenge.
That
And
makes
those
sense.
fancy
yeah.
graphics that you see in my weather forecast, you know, they take
Oh,
hours.
they must
to
take
make.
forever.
Yeah, yeah.
They're so high tech.
they take hours. So I'm going to try to get out more and maybe go back to the old school style where I do have a whole day to go farther out because I want to see people all over.
Yeah, you want to see
viewing.
the people.
But it's tough. Just keep that in mind. It's tough for me. It's at the
Well,
end of
it's
my
your
shift.
turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you digging deep?
He's gonna dig.
No drum roll? I don't know.
I'm
trying to
telling
do
you, I'm a
folly, yeah.
big fan of Johnny Stars. This
I
guy's
know.
full of life.
I'm curious about his history. Like, how did he get his start in
Will you
game
op-
show hosting?
Yeah, how'd you
Are we
sta-
getting into that?
Will you open that up
yes,
for me?
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Johnny Stars. Leonard Jakowski, Jakowick wants to know, I have 2 rain gauges next to each other, and they have different readings. Can a rain gauge be calibrated, and how? What do you guys know about rain gauges, and do you care?
They collect water
They
from
collect
rain.
water from rain. Mm-hmm. Look at
They have
John.
to
He's
be
a
a
weather nerd.
certain-
John's a
I
weather
know,
They
but
nerd.
I
have
don't
to
know
be a
much
certain
more.
cylindrical
Well, yeah. So
measurement.
there are something called a tipping gauge, rain gauge. These have a collector, and then inside there's a little bucket that tips. Every time it gets 1/100th of an inch, it tips, and it's recorded as 1/100th. And then the next 1/100 tips it back like a seesaw. Every time it keeps tipping from the rain, every time it's a 1/100th of an inch. And 100 of those tips would be 1 inch of rain.
Is that kind of how the automated ones do it?
That's the automated
Okay.
ones. But the old school ones, you collect it, and Mindy's right. Then there's an inner container that magnifies what falls in the gauge. And you literally have to pull it out and read it. Now, I'm saying all this because rain gauges, according to the National Weather Service, should be at least 6 inches or more in diameter.
Oh, wow.
So those ones you buy at Lowe's and Home Depot, and they have little entry openings,
Yeah.
they're not very accurate.
No.
Oh.
You need a real big opening.
Wow.
So if you have 2 rain gauges next to each other, they may be off by a few 100ths or even tenths.
Wow.
Interesting.
What's funny though is that measuring rain is not like measuring snow, where I don't think the average person cares if it's off by
Right.
point
tenth,
something
yeah.
or something like that. But if you say that so and so got 5 inches of snow and they got 6,
They'll
they're
be
worked
mad.
up about it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that would be the difference between 5/10ths of an inch of rain and 6/10ths of an inch of rain, and no one cares.
No one cares
No
when
one
it's
even
rain.
cares if you get a half an inch of rain or an inch of rain.
No.
and that
Because
would
you
be
don't shovel rain.
yeah, that would be 4 inches of snow or 5 versus a foot.
But if you have that difference, it's a huge difference with snow.
And by the way, I want to add this too. If you leave anything outside, for example, your pool, a container, and we say you got an inch of rain, your pool has gone up an inch.
Ah.
Did you know that? So no
Yes.
matter what the size, lakes go up an inch when we get an inch of rain.
That makes sense.
Assuming
yeah.
there's no outlet. So yeah, everything goes up that amount. Question.
So this is from Chris, the new Travis.
Chris is the new Travis.
Chris is the new Travis. He would like to know, and I'm assuming we have to just like go in a circle and answer this question. What do we like? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, RC, store brand, or none of the above? So John Meyer, what is your
No,
favorite?
you have to go first.
I
It's
have
your,
to go
yeah, it's your
first?
question. It's your first question.
Okay, I personally love Diet Pepsi, or I also love Coke Zero, to be honest. But then I also sometimes drink Diet Ginger Ale, so I go all over the place.
My choice now would probably be a Pepsi Zero.
Okay.
I'm more of a Pepsi person than a Coke person.
I like Coke Zero because it's got nothing in it, but it's got the caffeine, so I'm not drinking a ton of sugar. And it makes me feel good that I'm drinking it, because if I drink just regular Coke, I feel that's like 200 calories.
Yeah,
It's too much. I gotta keep my figure as Johnny Stars, of course.
Yeah, Johnny Stars is watching his calories. That's
Of course
awesome.
not. Man, he's a superstar.
I know.
Of course we should have known
got-
that.
Yeah, we should have known that. Yeah.
So you're right though. Don't drink soda. Do not. It's all sugar.
It is a lot of
away.
Empty
sugar.
calories. Do not
Em-
drink your calories.
Don't drink.
Yeah.
If you drink a 16-ounce soda, it's like eating a whole package of gummy worms. You don't do that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's a myth that diet sodas cause cancer. That's like out there in the ether. That's a myth. They've all been tested. They're fine.
Sure.
So when it comes to that, I love Coke Zero too.
Yeah.
It's great. It gives me a little pep. But as my wife would say, I have no taste buds. If you give me RC diet, Wegmans diet, I don't care what kind of soda.
You can't even
Right,
like taste
I
it.
can
right.
taste it. I don't care. Give
Yeah.
me anything. All beer tastes the same to me. Soda tastes the same
Oh,
to me.
see,
I
all
don't.
beer is not
He
the
has no
same.
taste buds.
My wife's homemade spaghetti sauce tastes just like ragu. I don't
Oh.
care.
So you have
Oh
no
my
feeling in your
God.
legs. You have no feeling in your tongue.
I think I'm
You're
just
all
an
numb.
easygoing guy. There's no drama. I don't
Sure,
care.
okay.
I don't.
Okay.
It doesn't make a big deal. No.
I would just like to say I haven't tried your wife's homemade sauce, but I bet you it's better than ragu. Just
And all
saying.
the women who make it, and again, guys that make their own sauce right now are like, oh,
Yeah.
he just said it
It's
tastes
different.
the
No, it's
same.
different, but I don't care.
I
I don't
know.
even like to eat. I just want to get it over with.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
has
like
no
I
taste
was.
buds.
We were were all together yesterday, and you had a club sandwich. I saw Joe order a club sandwich.
Okay.
And then 10 minutes later, I come back, I'm like, dude, you never got your sandwich? He's like, I already ate it. The
Gone.
plate was gone. Everything was gone.
Wow.
He must have eaten
Efficient.
it and
He's very
handled it
efficient.
in
I
2
just
bites.
don't like food drama. Like people make a big deal out of their special this, and just give me something
Just-
and stop it.
You know, you just need an IV drip of
I
some
want an
kind.
IV
Yeah,
The whole eating process just
It's
annoys
just
him.
annoying. Yeah, it takes too long. All right, so
Is
it's
it
your
my turn?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, I'll dig a little bit.
So you're a Pepsi
Whoa,
guy, though?
sorry, guys.
You're a Pepsi guy, though?
Yeah, I like Pepsi over Coke. I'll have a Coke Zero, but I like Pepsi
Wild.
better.
So when
What
people
about-
say, is Pepsi okay, you get excited?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I
What
like
about like
Pepsi.
Wegmans soda? Do you like that?
It's okay. It's fine.
Well, that's
I'll
what I
drink
say.
it.
You're with
Pepsi.
me. It's no big deal.
No. All right. So this is from Chris. Do you wear the clothes you wear on air to work, or do you change when you get to the station?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, that is a good
Oh,
question.
yeah. So I pretty much wear what I'm wearing because although sometimes I change shoes, like if it's, snowy outside, I might wear winter boots into the station, but I just wear what I wear and,
Don't you have to? Because who has time to change?
well, a lot of people
Do
do,
they?
especially
They'll
women.
change.
Oh, yeah.
I see quite a few of the women that come in for the
Yeah.
afternoon shows.
They'll change.
Wear
They
something
bring their
else.
dress with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because just honestly, dresses aren't that comfortable. But the problem is, I don't have that much time before the show. I just pretty much have to get going. So I just wear what I'm wearing.
Yeah, because our shift is different than most of the newscasts. Most of the newscasts that the anchors come in for, they work an entire shift, and the last thing they do of the day is anchor the news. We only have about an hour and a half before we go on the air, so you have less time.
Right.
I wear what I'm going to wear on the air, but I don't have a tie on. My shirt's unbuttoned. I don't have the coat on. All that. I put all that on right before we go on.
Yeah, sometimes he's just wearing like a sleeveless T-shirt, just.
But let's be honest. Let's flash back to when I was weekend anchor, and for 6 years I was anchoring a weekend. I would come to work in shorts and a polo, and just sneakers or something like that on a summer weekend.
And you can
then-
leave the shorts on the whole time because it's only a top
And to be
up.
honest, then I would just put on a dress shirt and anchor with shorts on.
Because you
couldn't
never
see.
leave the studio.
Now
Yeah,
we've changed the way the
The
studio's
format,
set up.
yeah.
And you do stand sometimes, so even on the weekends, I don't think you get away with that anymore. But people used to joke, "Oh, do you anchor the news in the shorts?" And the answer was yes.
Yes, I do.
What
I
about
did.
Johnny Starr's Big Shot?
I don't go anywhere without a tie.
You do not.
Because the thing is, people these days, they're pulling out their phones all the time. Everything is recorded, and I cannot be seen I wouldn't be caught dead in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, never, okay?
Not Johnny
So I'm
Starr.
Johnny
always
Starr.
wearing collar, always wearing a tie. You gotta be presentable. You never know if somebody's gonna want a picture. I
He
mean,
always
I
looks
have
nice.
stars in the name. I gotta look like a star, you know?
There you have it. The things
Makes
you learn
sense.
here.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Unlike Mindy, she goes to like Wegmans, grocery shopping and stuff in sweatpants. And
I do.
And,
I do, and a hat and glasses.
your pajamas, I heard.
Yeah, and usually people don't even
Well,
recognize
apparently that's
me.
acceptable now.
Okay. All right. Is it your turn, Johnny
Yes,
Stars?
believe so.
Johnny Stars,
So
yeah.
ties all the time.
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
You never know when someone's going to want an autograph.
Yeah.
Someone's going to want to see you. And
You'd be, I mean, I'm sure you get people always asking for you for autographs
Never
and
a
pictures,
sweatshirt.
right?
Never.
No, never. I wouldn't be caught dead. A hood? No, I'm an umbrella guy. Let's see. This is from Chris
Johnny
Smith.
Stars, we can't live up to your status here.
You know, let's see. Is there a food you loved as a kid and you hate as an adult? Plus,
Oh.
is there a food you hated as a kid but love as an adult?
Johnny Stars hit it.
I really hated pickles when I was a kid, and now I really like pickles. Same with mustard. I didn't
Well,
like
back
I didn't
up,
like the
though.
harsh
Is it
taste.
dill?
Yeah,
Dill?
the dill. Yeah, it was too much for my little kid taste buds, and now I grew up and slap some pickles on my burger. Give me some pickles on
yeah.
the side.
So
Why
you're
not?
a pickle guy.
Yeah.
I like pickles.
Were you as picky, or not picky, but were you the same kind of eater as a kid?
Would you believe now I'm at my least pickiest, and I'm still picky?
wow.
I could not eat onions. I could not eat tomatoes. I could not eat lettuce.
Was it a
Wow.
texture thing? Was it?
I have no idea. But now I welcome all that. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
changing. But
Yeah.
but the reverse, does that ever happen where you liked something?
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's something that I
Yeah.
liked as a
Reverse.
kid that I don't like now. I can't think of
I mean,
anything.
maybe like cotton candy. I loved that as a kid, but now
No,
it
yeah, I
kinda
bet you that. Some of
grosses
those
me out.
really, really
You're
sweet
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Jolly
yeah.
Ranchers, they're gross.
I mean, to be honest, you brought up like of drinking a soda. As a kid, I loved to have
Oh, me
just
too.
a Pepsi
Yeah.
with all the sugar in it. Now I drink a Pepsi and I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. So yeah, maybe the really sugary things.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. What
Too
about
much.
you though? Did your palate change over the years when you were?
Definitely, like I've definitely gotten more. As a little kid, I didn't eat anything real spicy, and now I love spicy. I put cayenne on macaroni and cheese,
Ooh.
so I love spicy.
But when you were hopscotching in Iowa, you weren't having chia seeds on your salad, right? I mean, that's a new thing.
That's true, but you don't really taste those. They're just kind of, you know.
Why do you even do it then?
Chia seeds are
They're
great. They're
fiber.
great. Yeah, they're
Dude, you
fiber.
need-
Yeah, you can put them in your water. You soak them
I
overnight.
set her up and she
Oh,
fell.
Chia
yeah.
seed
Like a-
pudding.
Jump right in.
Chia seeds are
You
great.
need a lot of fiber every day
Yes,
for your
you
diet.
need 20 to 30 grams
Thank
of fiber.
you,
Yeah.
Johnny Stars. You're correct.
Well,
Yes.
Johnny Stars, you want to tell them about your past 5 years ago or no?
Oh, I mean the cameras are
You're-
here, but yeah, I mean, in stardom, it's always about your weight.
And Johnny Stars was a what? Tell. Or if you don't feel
Yeah, I was
comfortable,
bigger. I'll admit it. I was bigger,
How
and
much?
then I don't really have
then
a
don't
number.
say it. I thought you were
but,
uncomfortable.
But
Don't
I'm
say it.
saying,
You lost
and then
weight.
I learned the value of eating healthy, and I learned the value of fiber and drinking water and
Right.
all of that.
It's true.
And I remember talking with, I don't know if I should drop his name, but it rhymes with Diane Ekrest. Okay, and I was talking with him, and he said, John, if you just spend an hour a day in the gym, you could look like me.
You
And now
like,
look at me.
You mean like Ryan Seacrest?
you were inspired by Ryan
Just
Seacrest?
Yes, sir.
rhymes like
You're in the same circles?
When I grew up, I wanted to be just like him.
He
he
must be
started.
big time
He
star.
is big time.
Ryan
That's right.
Seacrest started in radio, and
Yeah.
I did radio in college.
And that's where you
then-
guys-
Same thing.
And then we met in LA, and then it just went from there. And he set me
I
up.
just
Yeah.
hope you're appreciating this man. So.
Yeah, you definitely have to. I don't even know where we are now.
Oh, we didn't get to the taste buds. Oh, I was just gonna say
Oh, what?
I was really picky as a kid,
Okay.
but I'm not anymore.
Aren't all
Yeah.
kids picky?
I think most.
No,
are.
I wasn't picky.
You weren't?
I ate pretty much everything. I didn't like tomatoes on my pizza,
Right.
but I would eat tomatoes. My grandma would slice up fresh tomatoes, put a little sugar on them. I liked them. Yeah, I liked pretty much everything. Maybe not mushrooms. Now I love mushrooms.
That's
My dad
one
one
thing.
time made me sit at the kitchen table and not leave the table until I would try a bite of apple pie, homemade apple
Whoa,
pie.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I know. This is a
whoa.
great story.
Not Brussels sprouts, not something gross.
Do you remember this moment?
Yes. He was like, because I was like, I'm not eating cooked apples. And he was like, I think it was my aunt made it. And he's like, she went to all this time to make us this apple pie. It is so good. You have to just try one bite so you'll see
And
it.
did you like it?
And I just sat
He
there and I
refused.
refused. And finally my mom was just like, this is silly. You
You
can go.
refuse. You put up a stance.
I would
Yes.
not eat the apple pie.
Can you imagine John Mayer being that contrarian?
If anyone were to know my dad, he's obsessed with like dessert foods too. So I think he was just like, this doesn't make any sense. My kid can't not eat apple pie.
How long was the standoff? Like minutes?
I mean, in my kid mind, it was like hours, but it probably was 15 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hate apple pie too. It's gross.
It's
But now
so
I love
good.
apple pie.
There's
Yeah.
nothing more American than
Yeah.
apple pie.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Who wants a cooked apple?
Especially.
That was
I
my
love
thing
all
as a
kinds
kid.
of
I
apples.
was
Yeah, well,
just
that's how
like,
I am
cooked
now.
apples are gross.
Yeah.
But now I love them.
And I still don't understand the concept of mushrooms eating.
I love
Love
And
mushrooms.
here's
Yeah.
what I tell my wife with seafood. How could you? Like she says it stinks. Well, then why are you eating it? Like
Well, you shouldn't eat seafood that stinks.
it all stinks.
No, it doesn't. Some of it doesn't
It
stink.
all has a fishy smell.
Well, it definitely has a
stinks.
seafood smell.
So why
sure.
would you
Some
eat
people just
something-
don't like that
But it
smell.
shouldn't be a bad seafood smell. Like you can tell the difference between
It
fresh
stinks.
seafood and
all-
not.
No
It's all-
seafood for you?
No,
But that's how
nothing-
you get your
no.
omega-3, your fatty
Fatty
acids.
acids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's true.
Johnny. Okay.
That's good for your
Now
brain.
You're
Yes,
upstarring
yeah.
us here.
All right.
I mean,
whose
I thought
turn
this
is
was
it?
I don't even know whose
I
turn it is.
believe
Johnny
Were we around
Stars.
with me again?
I think it's Johnny Stars again. I don't know. What was the last question?
From Chris, right?
The taste buds.
yes.
That was
So
you, right?
That was me.
All
so
right,
then
good
it's
job.
you.
So it's Joe's turn.
I think I'm starstruck.
I think you are. Are you going to
Yeah,
get an
you're paying me by the
autograph
hour,
before
so
he
I'm here.
leaves? Maybe a
If
signed
we would just want to
photo?
spend this talking about me, I'm not gonna lie.
Before you leave, I need your autograph.
Of course you do.
Oh, this is great. Am I weird for not wanting to leave my house when it's so cold outside? Chris, no, you are not.
No.
And
That's
that's my
normal.
other problem with mushroom people and seafood eater and people who actually claim they like the cold, they're liars.
I don't.
So you
I
don't
think.
like me, do you?
I just know you're lying.
No,
I'm
I don't
not
think
lying.
there's anyone. I think we've settled.
Yeah.
And are we all in agreement after all this bitter cold?
Yeah,
I
it's too
don't
much.
think there's anyone that liked what we went through.
No.
Even
Too cold.
winter lovers
No.
do not like that bitter cold.
But why would you like it cold ever? We're naked apes from Africa. It's not natural. We move here.
I don't think we can explain it because we'll just get into a big fight.
We better move on.
It's
We better
okay.
move on.
No, it's okay to make the most of it and stay positive in winter, but to pretend you like it, that's the odd part.
So here's the problem. Like, we only seriously get, like, January and February
No,
mostly
you
to
got
ski.
December, you get January.
December usually doesn't have enough snow. Like, I've gone skiing in December, and it's
So you
not
like
as
all
good.
this torture just so you can slide down a mountain.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's
a lot
bizarre.
of people love that. Like,
But
I
that's
would,
like saying I only like summer so I can go to Hershey Park and ride the roller coaster. What would you say about summer?
but like, you feel
I'd be
this.
like, really? That's all you do?
You feel this compulsion to bicycle.
No,
like,
it's
you
not
love
bicycle. That's a myth. It's
You
just
don't?
being outside concerts, cookouts, walking, hiking, everything.
it. Everything.
Everything is
Okay.
stolen from life in the
All right.
winter. It's stolen. For one thing, to ski, that's bizarre.
I don't think I can explain it.
Well, what if I said to you, the only reason I like summer is because I want to go to Hershey Park and ride the roller coaster? Wouldn't you
I'd be
say,
like,
really? You're so...
Go for it. Have
For
fun.
one thing, though?
That's not the only thing I like, but
There's
I
not
think
much else.
I would describe it this way. So I know you can't stand the winter and everything like that, but because we live in a place that's going to have these different seasons, you make the most of it, but then also appreciate it. Like I don't want to. The past few weeks, I'm like, all right, enough.
yeah, it's been too much.
But I think, I like to go skiing. I don't mind the snow.
And well, I'm a hypocrite because I love the seasons. I don't want there to be not winter.
I know.
But then when I'm stuck in it, I'm like, I want
you can't stand it.
Johnny, help me. What's going on?
Don't help, Johnny.
I mean, I was living in California, beautiful, sunny,
Oh.
and then you bring me here because I was in New York City, which was too
Wait,
much
you're
snow
right,
for me.
California was
and
too
then I
much,
came
too-
here.
too monotone,
I
nice
came
always.
here, and you got like a foot of snow on the side of your streets. I don't understand it. I'm thinking I'm in the North Pole, but I will say it is beautiful.
So Johnny giving us a little uplift. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Mindy, what do you got?
I'm trying to figure out this question. It's a little strange. Okay, this is from John. It says, first of all, winter sucks. That's how he starts out.
All right,
Okay?
good timing for
All
that.
right, good timing
timing.
for that little
Good
comment.
transition.
Yes. Then he said, I watched your Wham Cam about the snow having a smell.
Okay.
It seems to me that winter, when it's this cold, you can't smell much of anything. Is that true?
Well, yeah.
Do you have trouble smelling? Well, yeah, because the particles don't go up
I
into
was
the
just
air
saying, I
as much,
hope
right?
everybody, I think everyone knows this. Whenever you smell something, it's an
little
actual
pieces.
molecule
Yeah.
from that thing.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
someone smells BO, whatever, you're inhaling their
Their BO.
molecules from
Yeah.
their body.
Yep.
So when molecular motion slows, when it's really cold, there's less molecules moving around. So smells aren't as pervasive. That's,
Yeah,
I never
that's
thought
true.
about
Well,
that.
and you think everything is covered by a blanket of snow.
Right.
So anything that may smell is
Right.
covered.
Right.
And the warmer it is, the more molecular movement, the more those molecules are going to pass from one person or one thing to another. So when it's warmer, there's more smells.
And I know when I'm picking up Junie's leavings behind in the yard.
Leavings! In the
when it's-
winter, not
in the
so
winter,
much.
it's not as bothersome as it is in the summer.
Because
Yes.
those poop molecules
They're
are staying on the
frozen.
poop.
They're
They're
frozen.
not moving around. Isn't that
Okay,
awesome?
there's another part to this question, and I actually do not. I don't know. I don't know if I know the answer. Does it seem like it takes longer for water to boil when it's this cold? I guess that wouldn't be the case, because if it starts out at the same temperature.
Yeah, does colder water
There's
boil?
so many different physics theories on pipes freezing, cold first, warm first. We don't want to get into that, but there's a lot into that.
There's a lot into that. Okay.
Let's-
All right. We'll
We
move
only
on.
have-
That one's
we'll move on.
We've only got 10 minutes,
Yeah,
or 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So John Meyer has to pick a good. Thank you for explaining the winter
I don't
thing
think I explained it
better
right.
than I did.
Would you rather upgrade your phone every year or use your phone until it stops working?
That's
I
a
use
good-
my phone till it stops
That's
working.
a good one, and that's an easy one. I think it's
I
age
think I'd want to
related.
just use it until it stops working.
I want to use it until it stops working.
What about you,
That's
Johnny Stars?
so the young Johnny.
Yeah.
I bet you the younger generation. Here we go.
I get a new one every time there is a new one.
See,
Oh.
this is generational.
I would say it's because I'm Johnny Stars. I mean,
But
Ryan
do you think
Seacrest
others
does
in
the
your
same
age group
thing.
are the same thing?
Yes, because I know there are some deals that you can do where
but
you
the
can trade
difference-
in your phone and get in. And everybody always wants the brand new thing.
Well, I
they
know,
want
but they're being ripped off.
because they just want what's new. They want what's shiny.
See, I don't care. I don't want it.
neither. I have
I'd
no-
rather
See,
pay
that's
less.
just- that's
I
a
actually get
generational
annoyed
thing,
when I
yeah.
have to get a new one because
Yes,
I
I
got to
wanna
move
keep
everything.
the
Even
old
though they
one
make it so
forever.
easy to move
Yes.
everything over, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I
want to
keep the old one forever until it breaks.
Yeah.
But you ask anyone, I think under 30, they don't feel that way.
Yeah,
And I
they
feel
want the
bad
new
for them.
model.
And I
Yeah.
call them suckers. Because they have these new cameras. You can't tell the difference between my picture and your picture.
That's true. They
don't
always
know.
act
I
like
like
the
having,
camera is
you
so
know.
amazing.
Yeah, and I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I know like the latest, I think the 17, the iPhone 17, it does zoom in farther.
Yeah, I can zoom in really far on mine.
Right. But I mean, besides that, dude,
Yeah, I
it's,
mean, compared to the first iPhones, obviously the cameras have
Right.
improved dramatically. But now, I mean, they just take good pictures.
Johnny Stars,
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, but like Valentine's Day, you getting a new phone every year is a corporate scam. And you're falling for it.
could be.
I have the ability to do it, so I do it. You know.
When he's riding in his limo, he needs the newest phone.
That is true, I'll give you that.
So do you have like a mini bar in the limo too? Is there like a...
I don't want to get into specifics on what is and isn't in my limo, but if there was going to be a mini bar, yeah, obviously there would be a mini bar, Mindy.
Okay.
Johnny Stars, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
We're going to do
course.
this every Friday. Get your questions in, brownbag@wnep.com. They go in here. We never know what we're going to pick.
When is he coming back? When is Johnny
Johnny?
Stars going to visit again?
I mean, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I'd love to be here for that.
We'll have to see if he's in the
Oh.
budget.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
will you
course.
have a new suit jacket on?
Well, I can't be wearing red.
Yeah, that's true.
There you have it.
Brownbag@wnep.com. Have a good weekend. Keep those questions coming.